and I'm like, whenever we would do live streams, yeah, we'd pick up new subscribers, but we were losing just as many. So it was always like, yeah, some people were just like, I'm not here for live content. And I get that and I respect that. But YouTube needs to figure it out. So we're live. What's up, everybody? Joining me. I'm going to call you Nick because I can't pronounce your handle. How would you say your name?
It is Yakumio. And Nick
Yakumi.
is fine.
Cool. Brian and Nick here. Today we're live reacting to the live stream that's going on over on Twitch right now. This is going to be covering Outriders, which you, Nick, have got an early access to the Game Informer magazine, which drops a lot of details. And so it's going to be pretty epic from what you shared. Do you want to share anything with the, maybe we'll wait. Hey, David, as people trickle in to the event here. So let me see here. Let me copy this. I'm still trying to get my new setup all done. Hey, Kaz, how's it going, man? Just screen. Yes. And then I'm going to delete all of that. Hey, Chili. So, Nick, why don't you, there's 3 classes. Would you break down some of what the 3 different classes this game's going to use entail?
Sure. Let's start with the Trickster because that's the one we have the most information about. So the Trickster is how would you? It's sort of like a rogue class.
Yeah, I think quick movements. I think getting around. I almost think I get a little bit of Tracer from Overwatch. I get a Tracer
Yeah.
vibe from Overwatch. What do you think about that?
Yeah. No, it's pretty. Yeah, it's very much like Tracer. Like you want to be in the action. So there's actually a buff here. Where is that? So you regenerate health on enemy kills when you're in close quarters. So they really want you to be in the action
Oh, dude.
with that class.
And we can kind of get a picture of this from the trailer that they showed off with that kind of that blue glow of teleportation and kind of movement. And I'm just like, oh, baby.
Yeah.
And there,
But
what are the other two? Why don't we just kind of summarize all 3? I mean, just in the names, and then we can kind of
Oh,
dive
cool.
in.
Yeah. So we got Pyromancer, which is sort of like a mage-like class. So
Yeah.
you do area of effects and stuff like that. Really good for co-op. And then finally you got Devastator, which is like a warrior class, I guess. Like
Yeah.
a tank. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get kind of from just the vibe of the game alone. I kind of get this kind of mindset of ice, fire, and earth. You know, from the 3 different classes. I don't know if ice ends up being true, but we've already seen it somewhat used in the trailer. This is kind of a magic third-person cover looter shooter shared world. Like we need to come up with some better terminology overall for that.
Well, they call it a co-op RPG.
Ooh.
So
I
I
like
guess
that.
that's the best descriptor at the moment.
Yeah. And so the magazine does say no PvP. Is that correct?
Yeah, no PvP because they wanted to make you feel really overpowered without having to balance everything. So no PvP.
Well, I would say this could be an Anthem killer if Anthem was was a stronger game, because that's kind of the same kind of market that they were going for with that pure PvP. I mean, sorry, that pure PvE power fantasy are, they went that looter shooter. Yeah. And if they are not going looter shooter, if they're going like that RPG mindset, that could be really, really quite impressive.
Yeah. So they sort of like looking at all the story notes that I have here. It really feels similar to Anthem in like the whole post-apocalyptic feeling that
Yeah.
Anthem has.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if we want to talk about the actual story.
Well, that depends. Let's ask chat, chat, Tempest, Kaz, Chili. Like, do you guys want to have some insight into the story that this game is offering, or do we want to talk about that in the video that we're going to post after this? We'll see what they say. So go ahead and break down more. Like, so you started going into Pyromancer. What else we have for the Pyromancer in terms of what
So
they offer?
Pyromancer is really about like area of effects, burning enemies, and actually you can mark enemies, and whenever they die via yourself or an ally, you actually get health back.
Oh wow.
So I feel like Pyromancer is sort of like a distance class, sort of like a sniper class maybe, where the other two are really like you want to be in the mix. With the Pyromancer, you can be further away from the action. Um, and then finally we have the what is it? The Devastator, where like I said, it's a
Sounds
tank.
tanky.
Yeah, the tank class. And for that one, you actually like whenever you're nearby enemies, you just get health back. That's
Okay.
it.
Nice.
And with that, you can actually this is really cool, and I've seen it in action. You can actually like form sort of like earth around yourself, and you just like it makes you sort of immune, not totally immune. Like you still take damage, but a lot less damage. So yeah, that's a fun one to play by the looks of it.
So David's saying, so is this like a PVE Overwatch, but all he says all the time? Yeah, and this is gonna be a PvP or sorry PVE RPG, David, and it looks like it's gonna be kind of that they're calling it that co-op RPG.
Honestly, I think the best game to actually compare it to is probably Mass Effect. In like
Oh,
it's a co-op Mass Effect, but with a lot of elements from like well general RPGs. Like you can pick up weapons, and there are tiered weapons.
yeah. Well, raise my
But
mic up.
according to what the developers say in the article, it seems like you'll get really powerful gear really early on.
Well,
So there's
and
no
I
work
love
up to
that. I love that hunting for gear and just grabbing it all. And you kind of get a tease of that in the trailer itself because it's like it showed off different types of guns, different styles around those guns, and more. And then Chili says, "You sold me on co-op Mass Effect." So we've sold the game. We get no royalties for it, but we're already making fans slowly, but surely. Let's get some links here. Let me pull it because you're just about to start streaming again. So
Yeah, get back into it. Actually, I just have one link that links to everything else. It's Yukumio.live.
let me just type it here in chat, and that way you can let me know if it's spelled right. KUMIO.live. Like that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why this is being ridiculous, but I'll okay. Game on.
I thought I'd turn notifications off. I did not.
You're good. All right, and then let me see here. I'm gonna add this to the description of this video.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for coming. I was like, we're hanging out like in the chat, and I'm like, hey, Nick, what's up? and then we're like, oh, we've got this information. You want to join me? This is great. Let's see here. Pull up the studio and pull up the live stream so I can attach.
But the actual gameplay, the Game Informer said it felt sort of like Gears.
Oh, yeah?
So people can fly. The developers of this game actually worked on Gears of War Judgment.
Yeah, they did. That's the one game that I didn't like get too much into from a Gears perspective, but I really enjoy.
Yeah,
Gears.
it's not like the same controls. So like in Gears you have to sort of like sprint, and it's really cover based. Like this is cover based, but not as sticky. Again, I haven't played it. I'm just basing this on what Game Informer have said. So it's sort of
yeah, I saw all these different creators got invited out to go play, and I was like, oh man, that sounds like there's no way I could have made that run to go out to like California just for a day to play this game. So it's like, hey babe, I'm leaving you alone with the kids so I can go play a video game. Like, please.
To answer Chili in the chat, yes, they also made Bulletstorm, but that's a first-person shooter, I believe, so it's a bit harder to compare the gameplay there. Is that first-person? It's been a while since I've played.
I haven't played Bulletstorm. Maybe I did. No, Bulletstorm was first-person. Yeah, I actually, I got that game. Man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, they actually remastered it recently, and they had a.
That's why I was confused. Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? Nuke Dukem or something? Cameo? Or no, playable character or something? So to answer Tempest Sun, I won't go into too much details, but the player creator is It's not like Mass Effect where you can like you have like all these sliders that you can customize. It's you can choose gender, a face, hair, makeup, scars, probably beard as well, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, like you said, you can choose eye color as well, so there's that. But it's not like you can go really deep into it. It's a fairly simple character creator, at least in the build they played.
Oh
Um,
yeah. So Chili's gonna DM me real quick because apparently they're gonna be covering it.
but yeah, I'm actually reading the Game Informer article on my phone because that's where I got it.
Nice.
So I have my phone mirrored on my screen, my computer, which is weird. But yeah, no, the skill tree. I can't actually share images because I don't have any. But there is like per class. So there's 3 classes. There's like 40 different options per class on the skill
What
tree.
for skills?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I'll
that's leaning into the art. Like that's why you don't have PvP because like that would be a nightmare of balance to where you just say, all right. Oh my goodness. Do they have any kind of like information about any rollout of content? Any kind of end game? Like, are there going to be raids? It's a 3-person kind of co-op. Like, but do they have any information about the future of the game?
They don't talk about post-launch content except that it's not going to be pay to win. They don't want to sell you armor and stuff that you can earn in game.
So how are they going to monetize that? They're going to sell the game, right? Like, it's not just a straight up free to play.
I believe it's a sold game. Yeah, it's like $60.
Okay.
I believe I sent you the skill tree in Discord. I don't know.
You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. Holy smokes! I'll go and I'm gonna show this up on screen so you guys can see this right here. Here's the trickster. So it looks from a skill tree perspective, though, there's still pathways.
Oh yeah, you can't. It doesn't look like you can select everything. It's A or B sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But still, a lot of options to.
But that's
sort of
great.
Like,
I mean, that's essentially 9 classes as opposed to just 3 base ones.
yeah. So they say that like on the right there, you can see there's sort of like 3 end bits. So uh, they don't actually go into detail, but like you can imagine sort of like a stealth style or a shotgun style.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually like for certain, so each class it looks like has certain weapon specialties.
Okay.
So the trickster is, I believe, shotgun.
Ooh.
They mention, and so in the skill tree you can sort of buff your shotgun.
That's cool.
But yeah.
Artistically, this looks like an impressive game, and I know chat was talking about like, oh, is this Square Enix's Destiny? It's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I mean, if they deliver.
Well, again, they don't really talk about post-launch plans, but based on what I've read, it seems like it's going to be more like the gameplay is not going to be like it, but like sort of like Borderlands, in where it's sort of like expansions, I guess, where rather than live content.
I think that's kind of nice because it's you can kind of play it, you can enjoy it. You set the expectation to go play something else, and then they have like a big update with lots of content. And being that there's no, they're not talking subscription. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what that ultimately looks like, how that ultimately plays together. And it's so cool that this is kind of also a Square Enix IP because they have such a diverse catalog. I think that would be. Also for those who don't know, this is coming to Series X, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC. Man, does the article have any mention of like crossplay or cross save?
No, it does not, but it does mention next gen platforms. Game Informer actually asked about it, and so Game Informer were playing on PC, and People Can Fly did not go into detail about what next gen platforms can do for the game.
Okay.
But they did say that it will look way better on next gen platforms than what it did on PC at the time.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. We got Samsung gaming monitor, Corsair, Origin, WD Black, Elgato, and Red Bull. Like it sounds like, especially when I saw Red Bull, I was like, oh man, I think they're gonna push kind of the adrenaline, you know,
Yeah.
maybe mindset and gameplay, which could be really cool.
So to answer David Kenrick's question,
Yeah.
oh God, I can't talk. Cre-
Question.
question. There we go. It seems like it's just a co-op RPG rather than an MMO or MMO-like game. There is a hub, so I actually sent. I
Is
believe
it
this.
shared world though? Like, are you in and are you seeing other players and stuff like that, or is it just
I don't believe so. So I sent you an image on Discord
okay?
of. So there is a hub you get. It's a truck, and I believe that's an image of the truck. And that sort of just drives around the world as needed. You don't actually get to drive it, sadly.
It's got that monster that you've kind of hung up.
Yeah. So that's another thing I talked about. So you can actually get sort of like trophies of stuff you've done. So you can show off what feats you've completed in game.
Okay.
And so that would be one of them right there, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah. Again, it's a very vague, but there's a lot of detail at the same time. It's sort of annoying.
It's also a game that's not scheduled to come out until this holiday.
That's true, yeah.
So it's like, okay, there's some things that you want to, because there's still like when you think about what other events are coming between now and then, you know, it's like if we still are going to have to wait, you know, let's just say 10 months to play for release, well, you know, it's like you got all kinds of ways that they can trickle out that hype.
Yeah, well, you got E3 and Gamescom definitely before then.
Are you going, Chili? Sorry, Chili is like saying that he hopes to do another video out at the Fan Fest this November.
So they go further to go back to the skills. Sorry. So
Yeah.
they say that they don't want the skills to be like in Destiny or Overwatch where you sort of hoard them. So the skills have very quick recharge timers.
Okay.
So you should be able to just throw them out willy-nilly. It seems like.
Well, that's going to be something that I think I'm going to have to get a feel for, like hands-on with, because the only other example I have of that is Anthem, and it's like if I'm always using skills that can kind of take away from the gunplay, and that's all going to be about the balance. So like that's not a bad thing, but I can't say it's a good thing until like it's like, okay, that actually feels like that right cadence in which that you've got skills that you're using that are situational, and you're also then like, yep, got my guns, got my weapons. Especially if part of the objective in some minds is collecting either different weapons or more. Does the article go into any detail about the weapons themselves? Like, do they offer like modifying ways that like you build your characters out? Like, is there a reason to go after them, or is it all about like, I guess, farming XP and then kind of defining your play style?
So I just sent you an image of a
He's
shotgun.
on top of it. He's on top of it.
So they do talk about how they want to keep their guns grounded.
I don't know if chat's ready for this. Chat, are you guys ready? Are you ready for this? This image, it's just, yeah, wow. Okay, let's pull it up. If you weren't ready, I apologize, chat. Like, this is nuts. So it's an item level 40. So there's definitely like a power grind, firepower. It's got armor piercing, long range damage, anomaly leech. So the anomaly is a thing kind of within the store and the lore. It supports mods. Standard variation, auto, triple fire. Looks like you can see your clip, RPM, damage, reload. So the gear grind is gonna be where this game is at. And oh, daggum. And I bet I got rotate item. I'm looking to see if they offer any ways of like where you're gonna modify the look of it, and maybe, you know, because I can see that being like, oh, I want to have this gun, I want to have a gun that looks like this, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
So they don't talk about the look of the gun, but they do talk about the armor. So they actually made it so all the armor can be worn with each other. So if you don't have a complete set, you won't look like a clown.
Well, that's impressive. I bet that took a lot of work. We still had that problem in Final Fantasy XIV. Am I right? It's like that totally that clips into this.
But yeah, so like as you can see in the image behind your head, there is mods for the guns, and they
Hmm.
actually do add really good skills to the guns, I guess.
Yeah, that's
So
truly exciting, especially if that like all the things to go and collect from that that aspirational content to go and get X and go from there. That's what I'm looking for. That's what like if this game is everything I wanted Anthem to be, like yeah, it's like and oh sorry guys, Anthem's on a timer.
yeah. Um, but yeah, no, it looks good. I hope it meets all my expectations. So far, it does. I was sort of hoping for a more Destiny like lifestyle game, but it still looks like a lot of fun, and
Did we
definitely
just get a
has.
sub? Sir Rex, welcome to the workforce. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button. Sorry, I was just like I wasn't even looking at the screen and I had the audio notification go off.
No, that's fine. But yeah, so it seems like you can definitely play it solo. But yeah, co-op is the intended design for the game.
So if I'm Death Monkey says if no crossplay or save, what system am I going to get this on? Primarily, I'm going to bet like either the Series X. If it launches before the new consoles, that's going to be that. I could see PC also being an option. We'll have to do kind of a general poll. Like I've been doing more PC gaming, especially now that GeForce Now is a thing. That has taken a lot of pressure off my hard drive and my local machine. So that could be something that I would definitely consider. But yeah, like they've been showing off obviously gaming PCs, so I'm betting that's going to be the premier way until like PS5 or what happens.
Mm. But yeah, no, it seems yeah they're ready to take full power, well, as much as they can of next gen
Yeah.
hardware. So that's good.
the the core thing here that like it would be shocking if at this stage they cross save at least wasn't an option or a concept. Namely, and the reason I would think it would be so strongly is even right now, like if you link your account, your Square Enix account to Twitch, like there's an emote. So there's the concept that this is going to be connected into your Square Enix account, and that means it's on any platform. Which then I would say, like, how big of a jump is it that they save that data, on their side, so that you can just say, "Yep." Because oh god, that's what I hope. Like when Division Two, the other day was doing their event, I was like, please just say cross save. Like I would love cross play, but at least say cross save because there's just that seems to add a lot of value. That means it's a game that I can play with more people. It's such a weird
Oh,
thing that's such an important thing to me. You know.
oh, definitely. I think going into next gen, we'll see cross save and cross play
Mm-hmm.
become a lot more popular,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's like the audience wants it, like people want it in their games.
Yeah.
And a lot of games, like because they're going the live service route or have their own backends, it's a lot easier for developers to actually make that happen.
Yeah. Hands down. I'm excited that like from what we saw, there's that shotgun that we pulled up, and there's the guy. Yeah. So the elements that they seem to be using are that ice, fire, and light, and kind of earth. But then it could also appear that there's lightning as well. This is, oh man, this looks great. So
I don't
go ahead.
know if you have audio for it on your stream, but the music is awesome as
Oh, the
well.
music, they have it on point. I've got it turned way down, just because what I was gonna do is I'll probably turn it. Basically, my plan, chat, is here in a minute. I'm going to hide all the UI that we have listed here. We'll have more of the game audio pumping through the stream, so you won't see Nick or myself. But we'll be commenting over the video. Link is in the description if you don't want our commentary or our reactions to this. That's going to be up to you guys, but we offer that as an option. So, yeah, we're coming down to it, chat. This is here we go. And then this was originally something that was targeting the summer, but looks like obviously they kind of teased it and announced it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just toss to the just screen setup. I'm going to increase the audio here so we get that bopping
Ooh,
music.
they just changed the image on stream. That
They
looks
did.
awesome.
That looks nuts. Oh my gosh! Hello. So it's good. It's the gear acquisition, and that's gonna be nuts.
It is, yeah.
I'm excited.
So I believe if you go left to right here, it's
The Pyromancer, the Trickster, and then the Devastator. That'd be my guess.
I think Trickster is actually on the right there. But yeah.
Okay, you could be right. Like I'm guessing, you could easily be right. Oh yeah, bring out that adrenaline, that Red Bull, baby. Oh, and we're going to the couch.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Outriders Revealed. Today, we are going to blow
That's I Am
the
Brandon,
lid
right?
off of Square-Enix, and people can fly third-person
I actually have
shooter
no idea.
and go in depth and talk about everything that this game has to offer. I go by the name of Malik Forte, and I'm so grateful to be joined today by People Can Fly game director Bartek Kamita and lead writer Joshua Rubin. How's it going, guys? So happy you guys could join me today.
Good to see you,
Ready
man.
to talk about this game. First off, though, I gotta ask you guys, how does it feel to finally be able to tell everybody about this, tell the world about what you've been working on?
It's amazing. Yeah, it's our first game since we left Epic Games. So
Oh,
it's
wow,
really
that's
a big
right.
moment for us. So we are super excited that we can share all about the game with the world.
Yeah, it's crazy. It has been a while since we've seen a game from People Can Fly. You guys are primarily known for
One
your
of the big
shooters.
things is there's no
So,
bad blood
tell me,
between
what is
People
it that
Can
constitutes a
Fly
good shooter
and
game,
Epic
in your
Games.
opinion?
Oh yeah.
So,
In my
I'm betting
opinion,
this
a
is
good
probably
shooter
written in
is
Unreal.
Made from many elements like enemy behavior, level layout, pacing. But I think the most important part is when you press the trigger and you feel this almost tangible feel of the gun, this impact it has. That's what makes the great shooter.
We've already seen the first trailer that's out and it's been revealed, so we kind of have a little bit of an idea of the story and what to expect with Outrider. But I'd like to know from your mouth, Bartek, the director's pitch for Outriders. So sum it up for us.
Sure, it's
Yeah, it has Death
multiplayer
Monkey.
co-op shooter with brutal powers, deep RPG mechanics, and strong story.
And while we're on the subject of story, that's why we got you here, Joshua. You've got quite some credentials on you. You co-wrote Assassin's Creed 2. You worked on Destiny, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead with Telltale Games. So you're all about big story and big characters. How was it bringing that here into this game?
That's amazing. I mean, it's
That's quite a
amazing
history.
working
Yeah,
on
that is a
great
history.
IPs, but to get to invent an IP, to get to build a whole new sci-fi world from a blank canvas. I mean, you know, for creatives like us and our team, I mean, that's a dream job. We, you know, basically started from zero. We created 100 years of lore, you know, going back to like, you know, all of the seismic conflict that destroyed our planet. The colonization of a new planet, working with these incredible scientists to know how that would really happen, to how it would then go disastrously wrong. Because, I mean, you've seen the trailer, you've played the game now, you know this is a dark game. I mean, and that was really important to us in building the shooter, that we wanted to build a game that was not clean sci-fi.
Right.
This is a brutal, nightmarish world that you're going into.
Yeah, you're not lying about that. And I've consumed quite a bit of sci-fi in my time, from games to movies and stuff. This one takes the cake as being one of those darker stories. But you know what? I feel like right now, everyone else, I want to get them in the same frame of mind. So we're going to show a little bit more here. We got a nice video for you guys to check out. This right here is World and Story. Check it out.
All right, let's see what we got.
We came to Enoch looking for hope. A fresh start on an untouched planet. Then, we found the signal.
beautiful.
So we set out
Yeah.
to discover its source.
Absolutely gorgeous.
That was our first encounter with the anomaly.
The anomaly. This is a little bit more detailed trailer. Just FYI.
When the storm struck, the Outriders were forced back into cryo-sleep. While we slept, the anomaly raged, and the creatures of Enoch advanced. 30 years later, when we finally woke, the world had changed. But so had we. With our advanced technology rendered useless by the anomaly, a successful colonization wasn't possible. But after all these years, the signal is still out there. And at its source, a chance to find answers. To start again.
Boom, baby.
Okay, all right. So there was a whole lot to digest there in that trailer. So, all right, let me recollect a little bit. Wait a second.
It definitely reminds me
Earth,
story-wise of sort of like
and the
Anthem,
Outriders go to
with the whole
Enoch.
Anthem of
I mean, the
creation
new
type
planet,
thing,
Enoch,
but
they're
here,
Yeah.
supposed to land
here
there.
it's the anomaly.
Then they discover a mysterious signal, and then everything goes to
I know,
hell.
right? Like, it's like, hey, and then here's this thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so everything goes to hell.
You can sort of imagine
But
that,
the anomaly,
you know,
the anthem, yeah.
this is the last
Yeah.
gasp of
What's interesting though, they mentioned they went into cryosleep, so there's actually a 30-year gap between the start of the game
on
and
this arc
when you
ship
get your
to this
powers.
lush,
Right.
green new planet. It's a second chance for humanity, and the Outriders are like the vanguard of this crew. They're the first ones to land on the planet, first boots on the ground. They're the ones who are going to be the mercenaries and explorers that kind of begin this colonization process. But then they get their first taste of the anomaly, and yeah, everything goes to shit.
Okay, I'm interested to know more about the anomaly, but first I need to ask you, what's the signal? Because there was a big, point in that trailer. There was a big plot point. So, what is the importance of the signal? Can you guys tell me?
This thing we cannot tell because,
Okay.
because it's one of the biggest mystery of this planet.
No spoilers.
But it's important. It's a reason for a player to start a journey.
Okay, so it's the motive for the players to figure out what that signal is. And what's the anomaly? What is that?
I can tell you this. You first see it, as you did in the trailer, as this storm that kind of throws everything we know about physics upside down, time, gravity. When if you get hit by this storm, most people it just tears apart, but some people get rebuilt. They come back as gods. And this is what happens to you, to your Outrider. When you wake up 30 years later, you discover that the flora and fauna of this planet has been hyper
Thanks,
evolved.
Ish.
These little critters that were really cute at the beginning are not so cute anymore. And your whole DNA has been rebuilt. And you are now what they call on Enoch, the Altered.
Wow. All right, so the anomaly is essentially what's giving everyone their powers, right?
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I also saw in that trailer there were a couple more humans that looked like they had some abilities as well, some powers per se. Is it safe to call them altered as well? Are they villains? Are they bad guys? Like, who are they?
They are altered. That's
Okay.
okay to call them, but not villains. We are trying to avoid overall using villains and heroes, good guy and bad guys. Overall, we try to make universe when everything is quite colors of gray.
Yeah,
Yes.
morally, everyone is morally questionable, from you to the people you're fighting.
Yes.
Right.
And really, the whole world is trying to kill
Exactly.
you.
And the same with alters you will meet during your journey. Some of them will be maybe against you, some of them maybe will help you.
Right, so it's not really just that cut and dry. Well, if it's good or bad, everything's kind of just basically subjective toward the player. That's pretty.
It's a
cool.
dark world, a
All
dark
right, so
gray
I wanna
world.
Talk a little bit more about what we saw in that trailer as far as the Outriders.
It's
that
gritty.
We saw. Is
It's
that what I'm
gritty.
going to be playing as?
Razor hell.
You can, but
Yeah.
you can also create your own Outrider because we have a
It's
customization
darker than
option.
the
So you can
DC
choose if you want to be a
universe.
female, man, if you want to choose what kind of hair you want to wear, what kind of markings, scars. So it's up to you what you want to play.
I play with a mohawk and a
Oh yeah, we
big-ass
have
beard.
massive beards.
That seems
Massive
what-
beards,
I
baby.
would imagine that's
Beards
kinda
are
like how
back.
you feel inside. Like
Yeah, if I could grow a mohawk again, I promise I would.
So it's cool. It's cool that you don't have to play as the Outriders you saw in that trailer. I think that's really important for everyone to know. You can create your own character. That's some
And not only
customization.
that, but we have these incredible actors playing both the male and female versions of the main character. So you get really your own unique version of Outriders when you play.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So when you create your Outrider and you're out there and you're playing co-op with your friends. How does that work? And how does it work when you're trying to tell a story, but you have 3 people all playing in the same game?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's really cool, actually, because we've got about 90 minutes of cutscenes and about 2 hours of additional side quest cutscenes. And it's epic. And in every one of those cutscenes, your character with all of your gear and customization, you are the star of that scene. But your buddies are in the scene with you in the background with their gear and customization. And what's really cool is that when they see the same cutscene at the same time as you do, they're the star of the scene. And you're in the background with all your gear and customization.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. So everybody gets to represent or be represented in their friend's game as well as their own. And I think that's cool. You get to be the star of your own game, but the supporting star in everyone else's.
At the same time, exactly.
At the same time. That's really cool. I want to know a little bit more about the story, because I feel like that trailer gave us a good taste for the grim and the dark environment and atmosphere that you're getting ready to enter. But where does it go beyond that? Does it get darker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
I would say it's
Love the word dark, don't they?
classic
Yeah.
journey to the
Dark,
heart of darkness.
gritty.
It's got like a real 1970s Apocalypse Now vibe.
Yeah.
And you, as you go in search of the signal, you are leading this caravan through this war-torn wasteland. And you go all the way to the very edge of civilization and beyond. Yeah. There's a whole world out there to explore, and it's filled with history and mysteries that we are only just beginning to touch on in this first game.
Speaking of which, is there any more you can tell us about Enoch? Because I feel like we kind of got a taste for how dark it can be and how lush it can be at the very same time. Is there any more you can expound upon?
I think overall, I think that Enoch is one of the protagonists of this game.
Yeah.
He's almost like a character in the
Oh,
game.
really?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too,
There's
David.
So many mysteries and
They
so
do in
many
the like the
secrets
dungeons and things like that,
you have
but
to discover.
yeah.
And it's
that-
big too. I
and
mean,
it's
that's
big,
what
yeah,
I
it's
really
epic.
love. That it, you know,
Man,
goes
that
from,
looks
like, the
so
mud and
beautiful.
The grit of, you know, what feels like.
I
you know,
really
like
hope that
almost
ends
a
up in the
World War
final
I
game. Sometimes it doesn't,
alien
but
Yeah.
I hope it does.
Yes.
Yeah, but then beyond
There's
that,
something with the
you go
anomaly
past
right here where you got the different
edge,
floating
and
pieces.
There are forests, and there are mountains, and there are deserts, and each of these places is bigger than the last. And it's not an open world. I think that's important to say. But it's more of a hub and spoke structure. So you go with your caravan, and when you land in these places, that becomes your core, and then you move out from there in every direction, getting to explore and find more and more.
Right, very cool, very cool. I like that. I like that because you guys are using these RPG elements to tell this story, and the story appears to be vast. So I can't wait to jump in, and it's just so intriguing to hear what you guys have to say about it. But while we're on the subject of RPG elements, I think it would be cool right now
Show
to
some
dive a
gameplay?
little bit deeper into what those exactly are. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the RPG elements in Outriders?
It's like gameplay, please. Are they gonna just they're gonna like drag it out?
As we venture across Enoch, we discover a violent new world. While we slept, those that survived the anomaly did what they could to carve out a living, and something resembling society took shape. We scavenge for weapons and armor, and trade what little resources
Yeah.
we have in order to give ourselves a fighting chance of survival.
Yeah.
We engineer vehicles from scrap and set out towards the horizon. And as we push farther into the unknown, our powers grow, alongside our knowledge of how to use them. But as we start to understand our power, we discover there are others who have paid a heavier price.
So that didn't get any detail.
Not really.
It's like
Oh man, guys, there's a whole lot of fun happening in that right there. So much stuff to talk about, but
that felt
I'm gonna
more of
break
a
down
story
some
thing.
of the RPG elements that I'm seeing.
Well, it
here,
showed
because
some
really
like
like a lot, man. Do you think people
gameplay
are going
elements,
to
like
be
it showed
surprised
you your
at how
armor
robust
collection. and
the
stuff.
RPG
But
elements
yeah,
in Outriders are.
I think they will be, because on one hand we double down our expertise with shooters, but then we add a lot of elements that are more common with action RPG games, not with the shooters.
Okay, so you say common. What are some other traditional RPG elements that you guys added into Outriders?
Okay, so I think in our game the most common and traditional elements are the side quests, the skill tree, the classes, of course the loot and the rarity of it.
Right.
Now, all of you like in the RPG games we have in our game.
Right, right. And lots of customization, it looks like, as well, too.
Oh yeah, everything can be customized.
Right. Well, one thing I noticed, you guys were customizing an Outriders truck in that trailer, too. Well, tell me about that. What is
Oh, I
this
guess
Outriders
that's what
truck?
they're saying. Oh, check out your custom
The
gear.
truck is basically your home. So when you are moving somewhere, you're taking your truck with you and your friends that will join this truck and your journey. But the funny thing is when you join your other colleague to play multiplayer game, then you create a convoy of trucks.
Important to say probably that you can't drive the trucks. By the way, the trucks are kind of your home.
You have your own driver.
Now I want to do campaign.
that's cool.
Let us
Everyone's
drive the
truck.
trucks.
Outrider. I don't need. I have my own driver. I don't need to be doing the driver. I got
Exactly.
fighting to do.
Exactly.
You can customize, of course, and what's more, you can add some trophies to this truck to show off what you have done in the game. How
Oh,
is
that's
the progress
cool.
Going.
So if you kill a big-ass monster, you can put his head right on the front of your truck.
That's cool.
And
That's
it's really cool too, because like then when you're with your friends, like, and you're this convoy, when you come and you create a hub at a place that you land, you kind of create almost like a circle, like a wagon circle.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and like all your buddies are there, and also your characters are there. Your NPC core convoy characters are there, and they can do things like, you know, upgrade your weapons and you know, repair things.
Prepare the new loot for you, so a lot of you can do side quests for them to more familiarize with them. You can chat.
Yeah, you can actually sit around the campfire and hear stories about old Earth.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So a bit of a safe space for you and your buddies, right? Talk a little bit more about hub areas, because you have that one with your convoy, but like are there towns and cities where you can kind of camp out too?
Yeah, there are these settlements that you come across where after the failed colonization of Enoch, the survivors have kind of gathered in these, you know, crags and rifts of safety from the storms and the endless war, and kind of eke out this survival civilization. It feels very gritty, very real, but there's real lives going on there, and you can get involved in these side quests. You know, you can help people with their stories. People are not so nice that you find, and there's vendors, right, that have these really unique items you only get in these specific locations. So yeah, and each of these are a hub as well.
Yeah, that's a good question, David.
Right. I noticed when I was playing, actually, too, I was in one of the towns.
I could see them having sort of like a division style
Rift Town.
matchmaking.
Yeah, I was there, and I went up to the
Right.
vendor, and there was some pretty.
Well, because
nice,
it's like if it's all
gear
just
there,
kind of the
and
story-driven
shop, it was
RPG
like
that has
almost
co-op
something I could
elements,
buy,
but
I
that's
didn't have enough
great.
scratch
But
to get it. But since we're on the subject, I want to talk more
It's
about the
simplified
gear
a little
in
bit.
this game, because there's
More
like
streamlined.
a ton of gear from what I saw. How many weapons are in this game?
A lot.
There's so much, yeah.
we're not going to say because we haven't finished making this game.
They're super cool.
Yeah, there's incredible artists.
Cool looking
Where is the gameplay?
Yeah, I know.
You will start with something that we will have to scavenge.
Yeah.
But the more you will progress, the more brutal, the more crazy the guns will become.
Yeah, there's this amazing sense of like the first guns that you're using really are like, you know, like World War I, World War II, really heavy ballistic artillery that feel like you've, you know, built them, you know, out of just crap that you found, right? But as you go further into this world and deeper, you get these really otherworldly weapons. I mean, there's this one that, I don't know, my favorite is like this one that's like this molten
Oh, that looks
lava
good.
gun that's like morphing in your hand as you're blowing the shit out of people. It's really cool.
Overall, we wanted to reflect the.
What's interesting is they showed the weapon I sent you earlier, but with different mods. So it's great to know that they're not locked to the weapon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kinetic, heavy.
Yeah, we're keeping it old school here.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
good here, but the more you progress, the more crazy stuff will become.
Right, right. Well, you can modify these things too, right? The gear goes and the color coding when you're looting. Is it similar to like other
Yes, very
RPGs?
traditional. We are using rarity, so you know the more rare item, the more powerful it will be. The color coding is very similar because we want to, for the elements that working good,
Oh, that was
change them because
Right.
It's a
people
cool
will be
screen.
not lost at the beginning of the game.
Right, and there's
This counts
a
as
common
gameplay, right?
familiarity with that between
I hope
amongst
not.
gamers. So, in the vein of customization and enhancing my character, I want to know a little bit more about the skill trees that I saw there. Could you tell us a little bit more about that, Bartek?
Sure. So when you level up, you're acquiring points you can spend on the skill tree. And through skill tree, you are changing how your character behaves on the battleground. So you can become more powerful. Your skills can be more important now than guns.
It's like,
or
now
maybe
wait
like guns more than skills.
10 months.
Or maybe you want to change your speed or how you behave in the cover. So all of this together through whole the gameplay will define how your end game build works.
Cool. So I can like
Ooh, end game build. I like that phrase.
Damage. So it all
Hints
synergize
at like
together.
raids and stuff.
So you have to choose
That'd be
your
cool.
own perfect way through it.
That's cool.
It's very important that each class has his own separate skill tree.
Right. So basically, you can differentiate your character and make it according to your play style. You can just fine tune it.
Exactly.
Awesome, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I imagine that works really good with what we're getting ready to talk about next, which is the classes and the powers. I guarantee you guys, this is the section you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
We got a little video
Maybe.
to
We'll
show you
see.
first, and then we're going to deep dive.
Is it a story trailer about the 3 different classes?
Many threats stand between us and the source of the signal. Those of us who survived exposure to the anomaly moved beyond our physical limits. We've become altered. As pyromancers, we manipulate explosive volcanic energy and devastating walls of flames. As tricksters, we manipulate the fabric of time and space to take our enemies by surprise. And as devastators, we shatter the earth around us, a brute force powered by the planet itself. And so our journey across Enoch begins. To discover what lies at the heart of the signal.
Let's get in there. Oh yeah, let's get a crossover with 14, David. Trickster for 14.
All right, everybody, this is the part of the show I'm pretty sure you've all been waiting for. We're getting ready to break down these classes. You just saw the Pyromancer, the Devastator, and the Trickster. But to my knowledge, there's 4 classes?
One thing, yes, there is 4 classes.
Whoa.
Right now we will reveal only 3 of them.
Okay.
One will be secret.
Okay, so how do these 3 classes work?
Trickster is assassin type, time and space, for everyone who likes a lot of movement around the arena, for people who like to go behind the enemies. Next one is Pyromancer, a lot of damage, but you like array of effects, a lot of fire, that's for you. The last one is Devastator, guy for like to fight on the short range, guys who like to be tanky, buffy, maybe a little bit reckless, but that's for guys who really
That's for me.
Might be a
So
Devastator.
guys like me who just like to run straight into the action without consulting his teammates.
Okay.
That's me. I love it.
I like the
I'm
trickster
totally
person.
the guy
Nice.
who, like, I'm time and space, right? Like I'm the trickster. I like to like. All right, so there's this really cool thing you can do. I'm sorry, I'm just going to take over. Where
Oh,
you,
that's
like,
interesting.
set your
Apparently the gameplay is already up on
accent,
YouTube.
right? And then you sneak up.
Yeah, I saw Mr.
teleport
Happy
it
tweet out
right
that he
behind
posted
all the
some of his
fuckers, and
gameplay
you
is
do
up
this,
now.
Like, temporal slice thing that like freezes their bodies, and then they become translucent. You see their skeletons like dissolve inside, and then just as the big
I love this guy.
boom, you're out at your
He's so excited.
It's so nice.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Well, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to see. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to jump into some gameplay.
Yeah.
How's it sound?
let's do this.
All right, let's do it. Let's jump in. All right, so paint
Here we
the
go.
scene for me. Where are we right here?
This is the war zone. When your Outrider first wakes up from cryo sleep, it's right.
Yeah, I like the damage numbers.
And you know, basically, the
LBDU
idea is that
skills.
one of the aspects of the anomaly is that it kills all electronics more complicated than a light bulb. So humanity has been reduced to sort of pre-World War I technology. So that's what this feels like. It's like trenches and tanks, but on an alien planet. The enemies you're fighting, these are the insurgents who are you're the ECAs at war with.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't call themselves that. They call themselves the Exiles. And understanding the whole tragic story behind this war is a big part of the mystery that you're solving.
Right now, we're looking at the trickster. Am I correct in saying that?
Yep, yeah, the trickster. Yeah, so now we see the temporal slice, so first ability. You see that you are slowing everyone and
Oh, that's
killing
cool.
them.
Oh,
Right now,
AOE,
there's
get
a
out of the
slow
get out of
grind,
bad
so
guys.
That's really cool.
Oh, and
you're
Chili's
fast,
gameplay
but
is
you
live
can
too.
slow down the
Yeah,
enemies,
yeah.
which
Nice.
makes you even faster.
And
That's cool.
In the bullets going in slow motion inside that bubble, you're like totally Neo.
Yeah, but Neo couldn't slow down the jeep, so if you explode someone, his body parts will fly
Right.
over in slow motion.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I noticed that your health was low. How did you heal though?
You're receiving some part of the health through your assassination.
It's that whole idea of doing damage is what gives you your health back.
Oh, baby.
This right here is the Devastator, correct?
Yes,
That's
the
really
favorite
neat.
class.
Yeah.
So the
This is my
reckless
class
guy.
right here. This is who I'm going to play.
Here we are healing when
Blood
we are
healer.
enemies and we are killing them. So the more enemies around you, the better. And the skill we are seeing is the earthquake. So basically, it's like a better shotgun.
Okay.
So you can synergize it together and kill a lot of enemies in the close combat. The next skill we see right now is the basically armor. It's a golem.
Oh, that's
you
cool.
are changing into the almost indestructible guy,
Yeah.
so you can even be more close and more tanky and more buffed.
That's exactly what I need.
Yeah,
I need to be
exactly.
more tanky.
Okay, he's
All right,
level
I like it. I like
17.
how-
Yeah, and I'm seeing XP from the kills that he's getting.
His or her, depending on which way you decide to go in customization.
I'm interested by the
This is
world
one of the
tier.
hub errors you were talking about earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Is this Rift Town?
Rift Town, yes, it's a Rift Town.
Yeah, this is one of the first large hubs in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
So
Please.
basically, like after the anomaly,
You're welcome to
storms
do that,
had
absolutely, always.
destroyed the first city, and the
What's up,
monsters
Ethan?
started coming, and the insurgency has started rising. Those who are loyal to the ECA have retreated into this rift for protection.
Yeah, World Tier
This is, like,
2.
one of the first places on Enoch where a kind
There's
of
the quest that you're
civilization
on.
survived.
Right.
The World Tier makes it sounds like we're doing something together,
Surviving.
like
Ish.
Yeah,
even passively.
it is a hard.
It could be related to difficulty, maybe.
Yeah.
that you find in
That's a
this
good point.
place. But it's also the first time in the game that you really get to slow down
Yeah.
and start to kind of explore and start to kind of unravel some of the mysteries that are a key part of this game.
Yeah, yeah. It feels desolate but hopeful at the very same time. So how does the loot system work? I'm noticing there's vendors. Can I buy and sell things with the vendors, like gear or whatever?
Yes, overall you are finding a lot of stuff in the world.
Yeah.
You can scrap, you can destroy, so you can receive money for it. So our money is called scrap, basically.
Oh, okay.
Good to know,
And then
Sora.
if you have bad luck, let's say, in the world finding the cool loot, you can buy it through the vendors. Or maybe you are missing some item that you want. Or maybe there will be some mod you want to purchase. You can do this through scrap.
All right. All about that scrap. Keep it in your pocket. How do I move from one environment and get to the next?
So the story's carrying you forward, and the journey is really important. And every time you kind of move, you open up a whole new area.
So you
that
can take
takes you
3
to your hub.
weapons.
And once you've captured an area, so to speak, you can fast.
I'm trying to
travel.
see what's going on in the upper
Oh, is that
right hand
what that
corner.
flag thing
Yeah,
is right there?
yes,
exactly.
That just looks like your
Okay,
teammates
that makes
co-op.
sense.
Oh, that makes sense. Who's the party?
Where are we here?
And then you're in the
This is
bottom
first
left.
city
So the 3
that I mentioned
symbols.
earlier,
Okay.
which
For the
is now
classes they're on.
totally in ruins.
Left bumper,
Yeah.
right
This
bumper,
is a
left bumper,
city. I
and right
don't see a
bumper
city.
together for your abilities.
It was supposed to be. This was
So
sort of
it shows
like-
3
like
skills
the-
there. There are
like
Mhm.
more than 3
colonization
skills in the
started.
game, but you can only equip
that
3.
huge thing
Yeah.
that we saw on the
That's
horizon,
the-
like,
that's the
dominating
build.
skyline. So
That's
the
forcing the
engine
build.
of the arc ship that brought us here.
This
And
looks
the
much
whole
better
idea of
than what they first
colonization
came
was
in because
that
it's
was
just a
gonna
little bit
be
more
our
brighter.
nuclear energy source
The
that would
first
power the
area they were
city.
in, that was kind of rough to see.
Then the anomaly hit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that thing melted
He
down,
shot that guy and it said
radiated
saving game.
half the city, and, those who could
He
escape
keeps
the
saying
Earth
saving game
bombs
in the
were
bottom
in
right-hand
tunnels,
side.
were trapped
Saving,
here. So
saving.
This is now home base of the insurgents that you're moving to
He
their
just-
territory now.
And okay, I guess we're moving on here to the Pyromancer. This is a lot of fire.
Well, that guy's
this is
topless.
Pyromancer, all is about the fire and ash.
So now in this footage, it's back to World Tier
This place
01.
is filled with enemies. It's filled with really dangerous monstrous monsters.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, that thing. Those things are really fucked up, man.
You are not fighting only with humanoids here.
I was gonna
in this
say
game,
there's more than
yes.
human enemies.
Remember what we said on the beginning, that whatever anomaly touches, it changes.
Yeah.
So those are the creatures that mutated from the peaceful creatures. Now they
Big
are
boys.
There is no cute creatures anymore here.
So what's that
Because you are
cooldown?
powerful, you are almost godlike with your skills.
Right.
But the threat is even more dangerous, so you have to fight with really, really nasty creatures.
Sadly, didn't show it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. All right, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. I'm not like into shooting creatures unless they're like really scary.
Yeah, really,
so
really
this
bad.
is
Looks
right
like
up my
a
alley.
10-second cooldown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they said they wanted you using it.
Yeah.
That's a big boy.
Oh, I gotta love the classic tease of the gigantic boss battle at the end.
Yeah, and
that's
that
perfect.
kick-ass gun too.
Yeah, right. And that gear right there is badass. Is that kind of the gear that you get toward the end of the game?
Oh yeah, this is a game that is about going on a journey to solve an amazing mystery and getting some really kick-ass gear.
Yeah.
No question about it. The place you start this game is so far from where you end up. You go from playing as a human to something way beyond. You leave humanity behind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Humanity behind.
tag in
That's
the-
kinda how I feel sometimes when I watch the news. I'm like totally for that sentiment.
The whole
All right, guys,
catchphrase.
that about does it for the Outriders revealed stream. The world's press and media, they've already played the game, and right after the stream, they are going to flood the internet with the content of all their playthroughs, so make sure you check that out. And guys, thank you so much for your time sitting here and chatting with me. And I cannot wait to play the game. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more you guys are going to reveal between now and when the game comes out, which is later this year. So guys, if you want to know all the updates that are happening with this game, make
Boom,
sure you
baby.
check out Outriders.net. And with that, guys, thanks again for your time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the chat, man.
Thank you.
Well, I wanted more gameplay, but I do have a better understanding of this game now. Chat, what do you guys think? And Chili, go ahead and post your link. Oh, they're doing the whole tilting thing. Oh. Subscribe. Outriders.net. What's chat saying?
I'm actually surprised to find out there's a fourth class, because that was
Yeah.
not hinted at all in the Game Informer article.
Absolutely. So 19 minutes gameplay with the boss fight? Yeah, send me that link because I'd like to see some of that footage. All right, that's good there. Thanks guys for hanging out. I think Nick and I we're gonna film some thoughts, and we're gonna toss them up onto YouTube's. But I want Chili to have the chance to link. Posted the link. Where did you post it? On Twitter? Discord. Where did you post the link? Yeah, where? Like, oh, like I don't see it in chat here.
That's my impression too, Tempest. Yeah. Definitely
Drop it
looks like
in.
it'll be fun.
Either DM it to me real quick, Jillian, and I'll make sure I drop it, because if you send it in the chat, I did not see it. Twitter, Chili sent a link. Perfect. And a commercial. Yeah.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is
Subscribe.
grammatically correct, but it's
Whatever. Skip ads. Sorry. I know I'm skipping ads. Bad me. All right. Guys, here is the link. Thumbs up. Share. Copy. Boom. All right. Go check out some more game footage. We're going to end a stream, and we're going to get some film in. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. Yeah. Bye, everybody. I'll see you bright and early in the morning if you're hanging out with me for patch notes.